Okay, so today we're going to be going over solving quadratic equations with imaginary numbers. And an imaginary number is represented with the letter I. So why do we have to have that? Well, if I want to find the square root of -1, it's impossible. I've got to find two numbers with the same signs that multiply to be -1. 1 times 1 doesn't multiply to be -1, and -1 times -1 does not multiply to be -1. So we're going to use that, and I'm going to show you how we're going to use that in this equation right here. So first thing is we want to get x squared by itself. So we're going to subtract 11 from both sides. And now we're left with 2x squared equals -48. Still want to get x squared by itself, so divide both sides by 2. X squared then equals -24. So the next step after this, we've got to get the square root of both sides. So we get the square root of both sides. When we get the square root of x squared and what it's equal to, that answer is going to be plus or minus. So now we're going to have x is equal to plus or minus, all right? And we've got the square root of -24. Well, we want to factor that out. So first thing we're going to do is factor out the I for my -1. And now we've got the square root of 24. X is then going to equal plus or minus I. Two numbers that multiply to be square root of 24 are 4 and 6. And the square root of 4 is then going to be 2. So we get x equals plus or minus 2I square root of 6. So this is one way that we can write it. The other way that we can write it is expand this out with the plus or minus. So we can have x is equal to 2I square root of 6 and -2I square root of 6.